Hey, my name is Leanne, and I'm fascinated with helping women navigate how to eat, move, and care for their bodies. This has taken me on a journey from vegan, keto, high protein to everything in between. I'm a small town holistic nutritionist turned 3-time international bestselling author turned functional medicine practitioner, offering telemedicine services around the globe to women looking to better their health and stop second-guessing themselves. I'm here to teach you how to wade through the wellness noise to get to the good stuff that'll help you achieve your goals. Whether you're seeking relief from chronic ailments, striving for peak performance, or simply eager to live a more vibrant life, this podcast is your go-to resource for actionable advice and inspiration. Together, we'll uncover the interconnectedness of nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, and mindset, empowering you to make informed choices that support your unique health journey. Think of it as quality time with your bestie mixed with a little med school so you're empowered at your next doctor visit. Get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn about your body and how to care for it healthfully. Join me as we embrace vitality, reclaim our innate potential, and discover what it truly means to pursue healthfulness. Hello and welcome. I'm so glad that we get to chat about a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I've been on this journey personally for the last 2.5 years, and I have learned so much about my body through the process. And I actually took training for this very topic back in 2010. And so I've been guiding clients through this for 15 years, and I've learned a lot about bodies and mindsets, and I want to chat about undereating and why it might be keeping you stuck. So I'm sure you've heard this before, but hopefully today it will land in your ear and you will act on this, because I want to tell you that your body isn't changing because you're eating too much. It's probably because you're not eating enough. Again, your body isn't changing the way you want it to change because you're not eating enough. I know it sounds totally backwards, but in this episode, I'm going to show you exactly why increasing your calories, yes, increasing your calories, aka eating more, could be the very thing that your body needs to finally start looking the way you want it to. So, like I said, I'm Leanne, or maybe I didn't say I was Leanne. Hey, I'm Leanne. I'm a macro coach. I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and I've really helped, at this point, thousands, I would say thousands of women go from totally burnt out and under eating to strong and lean and confident, fueling their body in the right way, fueling their body. Yes. I want to talk about the signs of under eating because this is such a common issue. Women will come to me with health issues and say, I am waking up tired all the time. I'm having energy crashes. I'm eating less, but I'm not losing weight. I'm thinking about food all the time. My cravings are at an all-time high. I can't control myself around food. I feel anxious, snappy. I'm depressed. I have trouble connecting with people. I'm having a trouble turning off my brain. I'm waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I am having restless sleep. Does this sound like you maybe? My hair is thinning. When I am in the shower, there's like a ball of hair. My hair is dry and brittle. I'm feeling sensitive to cold. My periods are erratic. I am constipated all the time. When I do go to the bathroom, I see food in my stool. I'm super anxious. I have this wired but tired feeling. I'm losing my strength. Maybe you're working out and you're just having a hard time recovering from workouts. These are classic signs that women are not eating enough. And I just describe most of the ladies that reach out to me for macro coaching or root cause work. That's the cluster of their symptoms over and over and over and over and over again. And when I look at food logs and I see that this woman whose maintenance means You need to eat this much in order to make the anxiety go down, the digestion to regulate, for you not to be sensitive to cold, for you not to have sleep issues, for you not to be losing your hair, for you not to be having mood swings, for you not to be having low energy and fatigue. This is the amount of food that you need to feel balanced. Maintenance. Most women, average, size, average height, usually like 1900 calories. The women that are coming to me and that I speak with on Instagram and in real life, many of them are at 800 calories. That's half of your maintenance. Well, of course you're having mood swings. Of course you're not sleeping well. Of course you're sensitive to cold because your thyroid is all janked. Of course you're having anxiety and brain fog. Like, you're not eating enough. And then on top of that, their weight does not move because our metabolisms are so wrecked that what you're doing is not working. I've had to come to this realization myself. In fact, the other day I PR'd at my deadlift and I was blown away because it was double the body weight that I, in my head 10 years ago, wanted to get to. And I was like, wow, I am so strong. This is incredible. This is incredible. And so today I want to walk you through what these maintenance calories mean, why they work, how to calculate yours, and how to combine food and training to achieve your true body recomposition. So if you're saying, I want my body to look different, I'm tired of feeling this way, oftentimes it's uncomfortable in my body, or like when your breasts hit your belly or your belly hit your legs and just things are touching that you don't want to be touching and you just want to feel tight and toned and together. Oftentimes in our minds, we have a specific number that we want to hit. Like, I'm 190 pounds. I want to get down to 150. I'm 220 pounds. I want to get to 175. Whatever that is, we associate the body that we want with a weight in our minds that we just make up, or a weight that we had maybe in college or before kids or before trauma, before we lost our parents, before we were in the car accident, before all of those things. And we think, if I could just get back to that number by eating less, we'll be good. And once I get there, yeah, I'll go to the gym, I'll do the things. We have it all backwards. I had it all backwards. I see this cycle of restriction, cardio, frustration, under eating to binging because we're starving and we're craving, and like, let's just get off the train. Like, are you ready? Let's just get off the train. I'm tired of this train. It's a crazy train. I don't want to be on this train. Take your bags and get off the train with me, because it is so much better off of the train, because diet culture has taught us that less is always better. And so it's eat 1,200 calories, do more cardio, cut the carbs, drink the coffee instead of breakfast. Like, I love the fat-fueled latte, but I wouldn't do it every day. You know the drill. You've been raised and praised for willpower, discipline, shrinking, but the discipline is not working. It's keeping you stuck. So what I see over and over and over and over and over and over again is women eating too little. Sometimes they're training like crazy. Oftentimes they're just too tired to even move their body. So they're like zombies going through our day, and they're seeing no change. And so they eat less, and then they see no change, and they eat less, and then they see no change. And then their appetite totally goes away. And so they're like, well, I'm just not hungry for breakfast. I'm just not hungry for lunch. I'm just so busy and I'm so tired and I can't. No, get off the train, girl. Like, it's not working. When you chronically undereat, your body fights back. Your hormones crash, your stress rises, your metabolism slows down, you lose muscle instead of fat, you stop sleeping, you feel moody, you might even gain fat, especially around your belly. We talked about this cortisol belly a couple of episodes ago. Now, I always say a couple of episodes ago, and it was like 500 months ago, and I just like totally forget what time is. So yeah, cortisol belly episode was August 20th of 2024. Yeah, that was a while ago. Episode 487 if you want to check it out. And your body is just barely hanging on. And our goal is, well, if I just eat less, then it'll figure itself out. You've tried that. We've all tried that. It has not worked. So eating too little can keep you stuck in the body that you're trying to get out of. And this chronic under eating. So we're going to talk about maintenance, how to calculate maintenance, what maintenance looks like for you, what it feels like. And so when we're under eating maintenance, then all of the things that your body needs to do to maintain itself drops. So in a proper recomposition plan, okay, we're cutting or dropping our calories below maintenance for 6 weeks, maybe 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the individual. But no way are we going more than 3 months, 12 weeks, unless absolutely not. Absolutely not. So when I was on my Patagonia trek, I was under eating because there wasn't enough food. It was a whole situation. I talked about it in the episode about, walking 80 miles in 7 days. If you want to listen to that thing that I did, you can go to episode 519 that released April 1st of 2025. And within 4 days of not eating enough, I got my period way early. My body was like, what is even going on here? Leanne, you're walking every day. You're not eating enough. Just total freak out. That was 4 days. It's 4 days. That just reminded me how important it is to be very meticulous about the food we're eating, how much we're eating, how to care for our bodies. Guys, this is essential. Like before you start thinking about binders and detox and, red light therapy and, Botox and fillers, and eat enough, eat at maintenance, get to maintenance. And yeah, it's going to be challenging to get to maintenance. We're going to talk about that and like what that looks like. But when you're dealing with fatigue, mood swings, stalled progress, what you're doing is not working. And just slapping the keto label on it or the paleo label on it or the vegan label on it, it's still under eating. It doesn't matter what your macros are. It doesn't matter what food you're eating. You're still under eating and your body just doesn't have the juice to get it done. We're a car. The car needs fuel. If you jump in your car with an empty tank, you ain't going nowhere. And we're all running on -50 empty. Like it's just not going to work. Struggling with cravings that throw off your weight loss efforts? You're not alone, but Lean Capsules by Make Wellness are here to help. Lean capsules are designed with bioactive precision peptides to naturally curb your appetite and support metabolic wellness. These peptides combined with grapefruit and guarana extracts help reduce cravings and make it easier to stick to your weight management goals. Take it from one customer who said, I started seeing a difference about 10 days in. My cravings for sweets and snacks just weren't as intense, and I finally felt like I had control over my portions. If you've struggled with overeating or feeling hungry all the time, Lean might be exactly what you need to take that next step in your wellness journey. Try it out for yourself at healthfulpursuit.com/lean. That's HEALTHFULPURSUIT.com/LEAN. And when you set up a subscription, you can cancel it at any time. After your third order, you'll get 20% off all future orders. That's healthfulpursuit.com/lean. So let's talk about recomposition, or recomp for short. This is the sweet spot where we're losing fat and building or preserving muscle at the same time. It's not fast, it's not dramatic, but it's where lasting change happens. It's not the overnight, I have a wedding on Saturday. I'm going to try to lose 5 pounds and it's Wednesday. So we're on the cabbage soup diet and eating bananas and milk, right? It's not that. It's very slow and steady shifts in how our body has fat and how our body has muscle. That's the recomposition. Okay. We are thinking, let's reduce the fat and increase the muscle. And by doing that, muscle weighs more than fat. And that's why when I jump on the scale every day and I'm in a rebuild phase where I'm in a slight surplus to my maintenance and my goal is to gain muscle, that muscle is going to weigh something, right? Ideally, we want to be gaining about 0.25 pounds of muscle per week, ideally. So if the scale is going up by 0.25, 0.3, 0.4 a week when you're working out and eating in maintenance plus surplus so that you can build that muscle. The muscle needs fuel. And as we talked about, the maintenance calories are there to maintain the body. They're not to build the body. They're not to make it different. They're to maintain what you got going on right now. That includes growing hair, regulating hormones, helping you sleep, not to build muscle. And so if your goal is building muscle, you need more than that, right? Because muscle needs to come from somewhere, and muscle grows because we are in a surplus even. So when we're recomping, again, it's not a dramatic change. It's not this fast overnight thing, but it's where the change locks in and stays in. The scale might not move much because as you're growing that muscle, you're also reducing the fat, but you'll notice that your waist gets smaller, your arms get firmer, your glutes are lifting, your clothes are fitting a little different. In fact, one of the benefits of the endurance program that I totally hated and will never do again is I was in the shower, just like, lathering myself up, and I felt across my glutes. I was like, whoa, my butt feels way tighter. This is weird. Like, it used to be kind of like, flubby, but now it's like tight. Interesting. Did the scale move? Nope. No, it did not. It didn't. So I have had so many clients start eating more and they are absolutely terrified at first. I'm actually thinking of one specifically. She came to me wanting to lose 50 pounds, 50. She was eating 800 calories a day, fasting every day. Nothing was working. Her maintenance was 2,100 calories a day. 2,100 calories from 800 calories. That's a significant increase, right? Imagine how good she's going to feel eating at maintenance. That's a lot. That is a big difference. So I always give my clients the option. We can either do an overnight, get to maintenance from 800 to 2,100 in this case, or we can slowly progress up. Now, it really depends on the type of person you are. I'm the type of person that's like, let's just get there. Give me like a week and I'll get there. And slowly but surely pushing through. And it's uncomfortable. You're not used to having all this volume of food in your stomach, and digestive stuff happens because your body's freaking out. Like, oh wait, we need pancreatin. We need to digest. We need stomach acid, right? So it takes a little bit of time. But once you're at that 2,100, and when she was at that 2,100, we held it there for a couple of months, worked on digestion, regulated her. And then she started losing weight. She had energy to move her body. She started working out at home. We did that a couple times a week. She started losing weight at that 2,100 because she was moving her body, walking more. She had energy. She was sleeping. Her moods were better. Therefore, her relationship was better. And then she started going to the gym, and I taught her how to do certain lifts, and we walked through videos. And then she started going to the gym 3 times a week. And at that point, her maintenance increased. She went from completely sedentary, requiring 2,100 calories a day to just sit and be in her body, right? And as she started moving and walking, we actually had to increase her calories because we wanted to build muscle. And so I think at that point, we got her up to 2,350. We kept her there for a couple of months. We kept building. And then we said, okay, let's cut down slowly to 2,000, slowly progressing down to 2,000. And wow, what a recomp. We had been building this muscle, right, over months, and wanted to just display a little bit of it. 2,000 calories progressively got her there. She started at 800. She went up to 2,100. Then she increased to 2,350. I think it was 2,350 and not 2,400. And then we kept it there. We built muscle. We worked on movements and lifting heavy and hypertrophy, and then dropped it down slowly. Her intakes dropped down slowly to 2,000 over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, I think it was. Maintained at 2,000, or I shouldn't say maintained, kept at 2,000 for a couple more weeks as her body continued to recomp, and then brought her back to maintenance. And that's it. That is recomposition. Feeling stronger, looking different, sleeping better without, in some cases, not in her case, but in many, many cases, we actually don't drop weight. So for example, My body's a great example. When I started this for myself, when I felt like I wasn't going to get triggered with all the stuff in the past with my relationship to food, I was like, I am ready. And so I started at 165 and I went through a building phase, which because I was just eating better and eating more, actually, I was eating far more. I dropped about 10 pounds by eating more just over the course of a year. I was probably sitting around 1,600 calories a day. I jumped up to almost 3,000 calories a day with my movement and all the things. And I lost 10 pounds over that year. And then I wanted to do a cut phase. So I went from the 155 down to 145. And I didn't like the way I looked at that weight. And that took me probably 3 to 4 months to get to, slowly, progressively reducing intakes. I didn't like myself at 145. I would say that it just didn't feel good. And so my goal was then, okay, I'm just going to focus on building muscle, see where I end up, see what it looks like. I'm back to the 155, and my body looks totally different than the last time I was at the 155. That seems to be my sweet spot where I recomp. And every week I can see my body changing. But the scale, goes up or down to 1 or 2 pounds, 154, 156, 155.6, 154.8, like in this up down. And when we're there on maintenance or plus a little bit of calories, if you're trying to build muscle, when we're there, a lot of us think, oh, I'm not getting any progress. I'm not, nothing's happening. The scale is staying the same. This is the sweet spot. When you are eating maintenance plus surplus or whatever the goal is, right? Like if we want to build muscle, we need fuel to build that muscle. Okay. So maintenance plus 100 to 300 calories a day if we want to build muscle. That is the sweet spot. When the scale is just like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, we're eating at maintenance, we're moving our body, we're challenging ourselves in the gym. Okay. That's the sweet spot. And you really need to have the stimulus on the muscle for all this to work. So let's talk about how to calculate your maintenance calories so we can get super practical. Like, how do you find this? Here's a super simple starting point. You're going to multiply your body weight in pounds by 14 to 15 if you're lightly active, 15 to 16 if you work out 4 to 5 times a week, and 16 to 17 if you're super active or athletic. So like if you're a nurse on her feet all day and you're running around, okay, that would be where you would hit for that. So that's a really good starting point. Generally speaking, most individuals are at the 14, like even 13. If you're not moving your body and you're pretty sedentary, I would multiply your body weight by 13. Okay, that's a good maintenance number to shoot for with being pretty sedentary. Okay, so again, you're going to take your body weight in pounds and you're going to multiply it by 13 if you're not moving your body, 14 to 15 if you're lightly active. Okay, like 14 would be, you get out and go for walks maybe twice a week. 15 would be if you go every week, or if you and you go to the gym like 2 to 3 times a week. Okay. You're going to multiply your weight by 15 or 16 if you work out 4 to 5 times a week, and 16 to 17 if you're very active or athletic. Okay. So for example, if you're 160 pounds and you work out 4 days a week, you would do 160 times 15, which would be 2,400 calories. That's your estimated maintenance. Now, this isn't perfect, but it's a super powerful place to start. And from there, you adjust it based on biofeedback. Like if you're eating, chances are you're not eating anywhere close to the 240 calories, the 2,400 calories at your estimated maintenance. And so you're going to go from your 1,600 calories that you're doing right now, and over the course of the next couple of weeks, try to get up to that 2,400. And you'll notice, like, am I more energized? Am I sleeping well? Am I not obsessing about food? Am I not having cravings? Like, this is a good sign. All those things that I listed at the beginning, if those are starting to reduce, you're on the right track. Okay, you're on the right track. So to give you an idea, when I calculate this for myself, okay, in a 155 pound body, right, where I am working out 5 days a week and trying to hit 9,000 steps a day, give or take, like sometimes I just don't even hit it. I multiply my weight by 15. And that's about my maintenance calories, which is $2,300. $2,300. I wish. Do I get $2,300 if I hit these calories? Because millionaire, no, 2,300 calories per day is my maintenance. So what that means is that if I want to maintain where I'm at right now, I don't really want to make much change to how much muscle I have. And I just want to make it as easy as possible. I want the energy to work out and walk and sleep and eat. 2,300 calories, right? Now, on top of that, for myself, my goal is to gain muscle right now. And so am I going to go up to 2,700 calories a day? Absolutely not. I'm going to add to that 2,300 calorie maintenance 100 to 300 calories, right? And so oftentimes how that looks like for me personally, because I'm a practitioner and I can kind of be more intuitive with it, is during the week when I'm lifting, I usually hit about 2,600 calories a day. On like Saturdays and Sundays when I'm not lifting, I'll usually hit like 2,500, just because I'm just not as hungry. I don't need that energy output. But even sometimes on Sundays, I'll eat like a little bit more before bed so that I have that fuel in me for the next workout on Monday. And so I know for myself, if I want to gain muscle and recomp my body, if my maintenance is 2,300 calories, I need to at least eat 24 to 2,600 calories a day, period. End of story. Like that's it. Like hit it. Maintenance works because first, muscle protein synthesis, the process that builds muscle, it needs fuel. We talked about that. Like you can't build muscle if you're not eating. And not just protein, but carbs and calories overall. The second reason why maintenance works is when you're under eating, your cortisol or stress hormone goes up. And high cortisol equals more fat and way harder to lose the fat you got, and messes up with your sleep, your digestion, your hunger cues, your cravings, all of that goes out the window. Another reason why maintenance works is because your body adapts to low calories by slowing you down. You're going to burn fewer calories by just existing, unfortunately, and that's called metabolic adaptation, and it is so real. That's why when you're at the 1,200 calories a day, you're not hungry for breakfast, right? And then you go through these swings of like, I'm so hungry right now. This is your metabolism just totally imbalanced. Totally imbalanced. And when you're at maintenance plus a little bit of calories, like 100 to 300, when you're putting load on the muscles, as you gain muscle, your maintenance increases. The more muscle you have, the more thermogenesis you've created, the more heat your body makes. And therefore, the quicker your furnace goes, your metabolism, and therefore the more food you need, right? And when you eat enough and you give your body what it needs, everything works better. Your NEAT goes up, you train harder, you recover faster, you feel more energized, your mood improves. And again, the scale might stay the same, but your body tightens. Okay, so muscle is metabolically expensive. So the more you have, the more calories you burn at rest, just sitting there. Your furnace is just revving. That's what I want. I want the hot furnace revving, right? And it also allows this freedom. You know, my husband, a new 16 handles just popped up down the street from our house. And in the past, I would just look at a bowl of ice cream and gain weight. Like my cortisol would just go crazy. And there was no way that I could do that at all. And Kevin was like, today we go to 16 handles. I get to do that. I get to just enjoy the food, right? I don't have to stress about it because I know that my maintenance is 2,300 calories plus building muscle up to 2,600 calories. Like that affords me the ability to have more freedom with food while not sacrificing the body that I want and the body that feels good and the muscles that protect me from a whole bunch of complications as I age. Does that make sense? So I've kind of weaved in the workout situation. If you're not eating and you're training, you won't get the full benefits of a body recomp. In fact, a lady comes to mind. She started working with me probably about a year ago, and she came to me working out 6 days a week and doing 2-hour rucksack walks a day for her maintenance for that program. Like when I calculated how much she was working out, how much she was doing her rucksack, she required 2,900 calories to maintain. And she came to me saying, like, I've been doing all these workouts. They're just not working. My body is exactly the same. I've been doing this for a year. Nothing has changed. What gives? Okay, again, her maintenance was 2,900 calories. Okay, so that's not even to gain muscle and recomp her body. That's just like to maintain the amount of energy that she needed to do all the things that she was doing. So to build muscle and to change the look of her body and change the feeling and the muscle tone and all of that, she'd need at least 3,000 calories, if not 3,200 calories. She was eating at 1,500 calories. Well, of course your body's not changing. Of course it's not changing. We're like 800 calories. 800 calories is 2 solid meals low in intakes. And I'm not saying this stuff to be like silly goose, but this is what we've created. And this is the train we need to get off. Like, we have been fed misinformation. It's time to get off the train, grab your bags, and never get back on it. So strength training, when it comes to movement and your recomp, I can just about guarantee at some point in the last 3 months, you've said, I'm tired of the way my body looks and feels. I need a change. And if you're already on the recomp bus, welcome on. Better than the crazy train, right? So strength training, not cardio, is the foundation. Lifting weights tells your body, keep the muscle. We're using it. We need it. Let's go. So you don't have to be at the gym for 90 minutes every day. Okay, 3 to 4 days a week of smart, progressive strength training plus daily walks is totally enough. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I started off with 1 workout a week and I've moved up. I am now in the gym for 60 minutes, 5 days a week. And my program switches between hypertrophy and strength. I love it so much. The goal is to focus on compound movements like squats, rows, deadlifts, presses, and gradually challenge yourself with heavier weights or more reps. So we've talked about this in the past, just about setting up your program correctly. We've talked about this episode 507, 515. Those are a couple of ones that we've done just recently about movements and workouts. Definitely listen to that because I go through more details about what that looks like, how to structure. But if you're wanting to recomp your body, the best thing you can do is a mixture of hypertrophy and strength training. But I guarantee most of the women in existence today are doing an endurance program. So they sign up for classes in the gym, and the gym has like a whiteboard or a chalkboard, and they say like, go through these movements as a group. They turn on bumping music and everyone goes as quick as possible. And we sweat it out and we lift and we're like, yeah, that's endurance. That's an endurance program. You're not going to change your body significantly through an endurance program because it's not working on the muscle fibers required to build muscle to change the composition of your body. So we're not eating enough, we're doing the wrong training programs, and then we're slapping cardio on top of it. And it's just all wrong. It's just all wrong. So think of your food as the bricks and your training as the blueprint, and you need both to build, right? We need both. If your skin feels dull, your hair is thinning, or you're tired of wasting your money on collagen products that don't deliver, this is your next step. So as many of you have probably heard at this point, Modere, my very favorite collagen brand that outperformed every other collagen on the market, filed for bankruptcy, and the collagen was taken off the market immediately. Expected to return in 3 to 4 months under a different brand that originally owns the patent, but I can't wait that long for myself and definitely not for my clients. So I did what I always do when things change in the wellness world. I dove deep into the research and I looked at every collagen option out there. And I started to ask a bigger question as I sought for the perfect collagen. And it was, why do so many of these collagen products underperform? And what can we do to actually see results? And what I created out of that process is something that I'm really proud to share with you. It's called the 4-week Inside Out Reset. And it's not just a swap-in replacement for BioCell. It's a full system designed to restore the conditions your body needs to regenerate healthy skin, strong hair, and resilient nails from the inside out. It's a 3-pillar protocol that goes beyond collagen, focusing on structural support with targeted peptides and collagen, cellular and metabolic rejuvenation so that your body can actually Use those ingredients and topical care for your skin and scalp to reinforce results on the outside. I built this reset using the tools that I've tested in client protocols since late 2024 and personally used around that same time. It includes the exact products I recommend now, why they work, and how they compare to other brands. Seriously, there's over 10 pages of a collagen comparison of all of the top brands and how they work, how they're structured, and my concerns over them. And most importantly, I outline how to use these specific recommended products to get real results. You can download the full reset guide now. It's totally free. Just go to mygrowinghair.com. It's clear, science-backed, and shows you exactly what I'm using and why. Again, it's mygrowinghair.com. And if you decide to do the reset, inside the guide, I include my personal phone number. Just shoot me a text and we're going to start connecting every week on the reset to just see how things are going for you. I'm committing to doing this for 3 months and I'd love to support you through it. Again, that's mygrowinghair.com. So now that we've kind of talked through the basics, right? There's a lot to do with a mindset shift and emotional resistance that happens when you're jumping on the scale and things aren't happening, you're working really hard and things aren't happening. You really have to focus on the bigger picture, inches, weight shifts over time, and the truths that when you're eating at maintenance, you sleep better, you stop binging, you feel like a human again, you have freedom around food, right? So already those emotional ties that we have with our experience with food massively shifts. And then there's really 3 phases, right? There's cutting, where you reduce your intake, which many of us have been in for years. It's not working. Okay. This is meant to be a short time that we reduce body weight for a short time. Again, 3 to 12 weeks, max 12 weeks. Okay. Then there's maintenance, where you're like, I don't really want my body to change too much. Like, I just want to maintain the muscle I have and just eat as much as my body needs to perform the activities internally and externally to my day. And then there's building muscle. And building muscle requires maintenance plus 100 to 300 calories, okay, on a daily basis. And I've seen this hundreds of times. You're not the exception of, oh, no. Like, I think I can figure this out. If I just get the right macros, I can lose at the 1,200 calories, or I can lose at the 1,500 calories, or I can keep my fasting and, okay, well, I'll eat at maintenance today, but then I'll fast tomorrow. No, absolutely not. No. Like, it's time to get off the crazy train. I totally want this for you because I've personally lived through it, and I walk multiple clients through this on a weekly basis. In fact, it's become such a big part of my business, is starting clients at this space, because we can't heal mycotoxins if you're not eating enough. We can't kill off parasites if you're not eating enough. We can't fix your anxiety if you're not eating enough. We really have to be starting to eat enough. So again, the signs that you need to eat more is poor energy, poor mood, poor recovery, constant food obsession. If you're eating under 1,600 calories and you're not seeing progress, probably that. If you're tired or cold or moody or bloated, the bloating especially, I see that often. The constipation, huge. I'm trying to be as firm as possible with you because I see this so much, and it takes clients a little bit of time to wrap their mind around it. Like, it's a hard sell. You're not losing weight. What I'm suggesting is that you increase your calories to 1,000 or more than what you're eating right now. And that progression of getting to maintenance, you're probably going to gain weight, but I promise you it's helping your metabolism, and we will be able to recomp your body once you get to maintenance plus. They're like, pardon me, what? What? But again, I'll remind you, what you're doing right now isn't working because you're thinking about food all the time. Your workouts are flat, or you're just so exhausted. You can't even comprehend going to the gym. Like, what? Sorry, pardon? So if what I've shared today just feels like good and you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm terrified. There's some fear there, but I'm ready to do this. And I know I can't do it alone because I will lose steam very quickly and get terrified again. And I can't do this alone. I'm going to include a link in the show notes if you want to work with me one-on-one. I am taking a couple of clients this month and next for macro coaching, and we connect on a weekly basis and we look through, what are you doing? How's it going? How you feeling? What do we need to shift? What do we need to pay attention to this week? What are our goals? Just to have that person. And I am a coach and I have that person. Like, it's good to have that person be like, okay, remember, Leanne, here are your goals. This is why we're doing this. Like, to just have an external person guiding you through. So we adjust weekly based on how you're feeling, how you're performing, how you're recovering. I provide you with personalized macros based on your metabolism, lifestyle, and goals. We support your cycle, digestion, mindset, and progress throughout. And we break the whole less is more mindset and learn to trust your body again, or perhaps even for the first time. So this isn't about perfection. It's really about building a body that you can feel good in. And feeling good feels even better when we're eating at maintenance. So the takeaway, this is your permission to eat more, to train smarter, to finally start seeing the results that you've been chasing and just missing that mark, to get off the crazy train and get on the maintenance bus. It's not about a holding pattern that I'm suggesting. It's really this launch pad that allows you to have control over how your body processes food and energy. So if you're just totally tired of spinning those wheels, you can totally apply for one-on-one macro coaching. Again, I'll include the link in the show notes. Otherwise, I've given you that maintenance, calculation. There are so many calculators online. So let's get you strong and confident and in sync with your body. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for you. This is exciting. Giving your body what it needs. You will never regret it. Okay. We'll see you back here for another episode next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Healthful Pursuit Podcast. Join us next Tuesday for another episode of the show. If you're looking for free resources, there are a couple of places you can go. The first, to my blog, healthfulpursuit.com, where you're going to find loads of recipes. The second is a free parasite protocol that I've put together for you that outlines symptoms, testing, and resources to determine whether or not you have a parasite, plus a full protocol to follow to eradicate them from your life if you need to. That's available at healthfulpursuit.com/parasites. And last but certainly not least, a full list of blood work markers to ask your doctor for so that you can get a full picture of your health. You can grab that free resource by going to healthfulpursuit.com/labs. The Healthful Pursuit Podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, recipes, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Healthful Pursuit Podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representation or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified health practitioner with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.